Hello, welcome back. This is episode 173 of Checkpoint Chat. My name is Alessandro Barbosa. I'm joined by a refreshed, holiday-soaked up Matty Figuera.
And very
holiday
rusty.
Bolt. Yeah, holiday bolt.
You ever come back from a long break or go back to return to a hobby or something you do regularly and you're just like, how do I do this?
Yeah, it happened at my job.
I looked at my desktop this morning. Okay, I put this window there. No, wait, how does my desktop, where does Audacity go? Where does OBS go? Shit, I had it so prime last year where everything was just, optimized to perfection.
How does my microphone work?
How does my microphone work? And then about 3 seconds before recording, look behind me, see all my cases. I'm like, damn. And you said, it's like I just climbed off the plane. I didn't.
I mean, you did. You just arrived from OR Tambo now.
Sure.
You were so dedicated to starting today. You just like,
I told you. I said, I know I land. I'll be very tired, but we must do this. The people need us. Which is a lie.
The people need us,
because we had an extended break. It was great. I needed last weekend specifically just to go watch Spider-Man. I needed pictures of the dude.
And how was it?
It was great.
What
a great movie. So many wow moments.
So
or
good.
just ooh moments.
Yeah, you're like, they're doing that.
Yeah, it was
I
great.
liked it a lot too. And I like where it ends off. It leaves a lot of room for some interesting things for the future of Spider-Man.
Would recommend.
Would recommend if you can. Firstly, if you choose to brave the cinemas, and then if you can get there, well worth it. Good movie.
Can confirm. We went on a Saturday afternoon. We were the only people in the cinema.
Oh, really?
Which was
hectic.
Delightful. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
We watched it while we were in Cape Town. And at Canal Walk there were 6 cinemas showing it.
What?
And all of them were sold out. I've never seen
6
something
cinemas.
So ridiculous.
Oh my.
But I mean, I guess it's 6 cinemas because they're doing the like every second seat is
but still, even then, 6 cinemas is crazy.
It's really stupid because Ster-Kinekor does the every second seat is not available, which to me makes most sense because say you and Nenska go, you order the 2 next to each other and then you just sit next to each other anyway, right? New Metro, which is what was at Canal Walk, what they do is they group it in 2. So it's 2 empty.
Oh,
so if you're going alone, you order the one and then the one next to you is open and no one wants to book that one because they're like, I don't know this person.
Or the person books it and they sit next to you. They're like, sup.
Yeah, hey, what's up? And then what's worse is that the ones that they say are off limits, they put like fucking tape over it. So you can't actually sit there. Like you can't move and be like, yeah, I'm going to sit. So real dumb system. Compared to Ster-Kinekor. So yeah.
But
just needed to get that off my chest.
Did you have a good break?
I did. I went to Cape Town for like 10 days and came back for Christmas. It was lovely. Went back to work a bit early on the 3rd of Jan. Because, new job, don't have much leave built up, don't want to go.
You didn't have any leave. You actually worked over December. The only person in the office.
Very little leave. At least I didn't whack myself into -10,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. I got to play quite a few games. So
you and me both. We'll
pretty stoked about that.
Yeah, I think today's episode might be very slightly different because we have a shit ton of games to talk through. And we're obviously not going to do, full 10, 15, 20-minute reviews of each because we'll be here for hours.
Yeah, literally be here for half the day. So
yeah
that will not work. But I mean, a lot of them are, many of them are older. Well, okay, at least on my list. I'm thinking about your list now. I'm actually, yours is pretty modern.
Some. No, yeah. I've got some older ones in mind. I've got a fair mix, I'd say.
Yeah.
Of stuff.
So let's actually just dive into it then. This is Checkman Chat. We talk about video games, many of them on the holiday break. We're happy to have you back.
It's good to be back. Let me timestamp the shit out of all of this.
Yeah, good lord, so many games.
So many games.
So I think
What
the
did you
one
play
that
first?
both of us played, I think both of us like started it before we made our respective travels and then finished it when we got back. But Halo Infinite.
The campaign.
Yeah, the campaign. So I started it just before when I went to Cape Town, so I didn't actually play that much. I can't actually remember if we spoke about it on like a final episode or something.
We might have touched on it briefly.
But yeah, that campaign is very good, I think. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's I get why 343 doesn't want to call it a open world, because I don't. It's more like a hub more than anything.
Or hubs, I guess.
Yeah, it's like a place that you can kind of mess around in briefly before you move your way to the next quote unquote like Halo mission thing, which is a very linear affair. And there's not much. Well, there's quite a bit to do in the open world. There's like, other squads of humans to save. There's like high value targets to hunt down. There's stuff, but it's not like, I don't think it's top tier open world stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that said, I thought the campaign was very good. I thought the shooting was real good. Felt really, really tight and fun. That grapple hook is the best thing in Halo since, I don't know, Halo started. Like, it's fucking incredible. And the traditional Halo levels are very good, I thought. And I really enjoyed like the build up to the finale and how they kind of ended with a open question of, this could be like a platform for more Halo to go forward.
Halo stuff,
I'm curious to know what you felt, because you haven't played Halo in a very, very long time.
The last Halo I played was Halo 1.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, actual decades ago, and I've never picked up a Halo since.
The story must be real fucking confusing for you then.
I watched a recap, obviously, because there's a lot of lore packed into Halo, and because it spans like 6-7 games now, there's
and books and comics and
so much, and a live action show coming. So there's a lot to catch up on. I really enjoyed it. I do think there are things about it that make me feel that this is Halo, like in a good and a bad way, because Halo is a traditional shooter. Like at the end of the day, it felt like it's just you shooting through hundreds, if not thousands, of grunts, and it's not to say that's a bad thing, because it's a lot of fun. And that grapple hook, man, I can't imagine playing a Halo without that grapple hook. So I don't know if I have it in me to go and
play the old
ones, because as much as I enjoyed the shooting, I'm just like, if there's no grapple hook, it's me just running from cover to cover, recharging my shield. Whereas here, it's very much a thing of you are just Spider-Manning your way around these, quote unquote, arenas, all the open world. And that was a lot of fun, especially when you sort of get towards the end of, the various upgrade paths. When you start stringing things together, I know you said you didn't really do it, but I found it a lot of fun to, for example, grapple to a ledge, dash quickly, switch back to my grapple because the cooldown's so quick, grapple on, dash, and just string them together. And I had a lot of fun with that. But I know it sounds like I didn't really enjoy the game, but I actually did love it. So I just can't tell you that I have the same affinity that you do, because you've obviously grown up playing a lot of Halo. For me, it is like, this is fun. I don't really have a connection with half of these characters, but I'm enjoying it. I will say that I really liked the weapon. I thought
very cool character.
That character and that voice actress's performance in particular was just like very captivating. And sorry to be that person, I'm not sold on Master Chief. It feels so dated to be like very like me shoot things, do.
he's like if Doom Man had a voice type of
exactly
thing.
It feels a bit, I don't know, I feel like it's part of the character, obviously. I mean, this character's existed for decades, but it just felt a bit jarring to me to come to a game where, in 2021, where the character feels very one note, but he's not. Like, he's definitely not, but it just comes across like that.
He's like, to me, I got real vibes of like Kratos in New God of War. And like the weapon was Atreus type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, there's definitely that sort of. I'm sure they looked at God of War and thought this is a sort of reboot we want to give Master Chief. And
just waited for him to do the slow, like going to touch the weapon on the back and then pulls back. You know what I mean?
What's that not infamous, but that quote from God? It's like, "Don't be sorry, be better." Like he says that to the weapon. You're like, whoa, that's a copy paste.
Oh my god!
I enjoyed Halo. I'm very keen to. I'll definitely play the next one, like without a doubt. So,
I mean, like you said, you don't have real reference with at least 343's stuff, but this is easily their best one. I mean, they did 4 and 5, and I'm somewhat of an apologist for 4. I think 4's good.
I'm sorry that they made this game.
It does some weird things, and I get that some of the weapons are strange, but I thought at the time it was really good. I think 5 is really bad. So to come from 5 to this is like such a massive 180 on quality. It's I'm very happy for this.
Well, one
to
last
be like
thing,
the platform for the future of Halo.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say about Halo is that I think some people might be put off thinking, it's an open world Halo. It's going to be like 30 hours long.
Oh, no.
It's not. I did a fair bit of side things. I made a point of going to forward operating bases and picking up Spartan cores, and my playtime was 14 hours, if that, which I was actually surprised because that made me wonder if I just mainlined it. How long is this game? Is it?
It must be
hours?
Like sub 10.
Yeah,
easily,
it's super short. If you just want to get in and out and get a taste of the new Halo, just mainline it.
I pretty much did everything, and I think
you might
my
struggle
playtime
without some upgrades, but
like you definitely need to get some of those upgrades. Like, but I think I did everything. Like I finished up some stuff after the story because it just lets you explore the open world then, and I think my total playtime must have been about 20 hours. It felt really well paced. Like it got in, did its thing, and when it finished, I was like, that was like the perfect time to do it. I just think both of us did the thing where we explored the open world a lot at the beginning, and I started feeling that tinge of fatigue, and I was like, cool, I'm going to do story missions now. And the story missions are so varied that, I thoroughly enjoyed them. So, game is good. The grunt
banter,
dialogue lines very
10 out
good.
Of 10,
yeah, absolutely. The way they leaned into the humor with them is so funny. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Also, just on that quickly before we move to the next game, I found that there's a lot of fresh dialogue. I can't remember too much dialogue being cycled. From the grunts. It felt like they always had something different to say. So,
there's a lot of, like, I hear, once I started reaching like 20 hours and I was exploring mostly the open world, like I heard every now and then a line repeated, but I was still chuckling like a lot of the times, like, especially when they kill you, they like sheer disbelief at it is so funny.
A lot of I died a fair bit in this game, and a lot of the dialogue that they say, which is just a nice touch. It's like, I killed him. You're like, whoa.
they're so good. I like, and it's not just the grunts. Like all of the enemies are very distinct personalities. Even like the jackals are very much like, they're almost like hitmen. So whenever they kill you, they talk about the money they're gonna get, and then the brutes are more like honor-based things. So you get a real sense of like this conglomerate of different species that all have different reasons for being there. It's very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm still enjoying the multiplayer.
I need to.
There's a new event now, and it's great.
Oh my goodness! Right before I left, I figured out that whole system of finding local games. So
on PC, I've been doing that as well.
For very much.
It is very good. Yeah, we should play more.
It's cool.
Yeah.
What else have you played?
So this is where we completely diverge. I dived well into my backlog and started playing some stuff. So 3 games real quick. I I picked up A Plague Tale: Innocence. It's on Game Pass, and this is the like next gen version of the game. So it's all upgraded for new consoles and stuff. If you're unfamiliar with The Plague Tale, it's I don't think it's that old. It's like 2 or 3 years old. I can describe it as sort of like Spanish Inquisition, The Last of Us. It's like you play you play as a girl called Amelia. I think it's Amelia. And it's you and your brother trying to evade this religious inquisition that has kind of annihilated your small town at the beginning of the game.
With some tight cover-based shooting, am I right?
Well, not really. It's mostly stealth because you are a teenage girl. The only weapon you have is a sling with a rock in it.
Oh my.
But the environment is filled with dangers like this overwhelming rat plague that kind of like if you're in darkness, they will kill you type of thing. So you can do things like throw rocks at enemy lanterns and then the rats kill them, or you just stealth past people, or you sling a rock at their head and kill them, stuff like that.
Sure.
It's very good. I think it's a really, really good game, really good story. And it looks gorgeous on these new consoles. Like really good upgrades done to it. And also not too long. I think it was about like 12 hours or so.
Oh, that's still quite a fair chunk for a single player game.
Yeah, it felt again like really tightly paced. It ends really well, and the stuff it kind of like unlocks in the last 2 levels make those last 2 levels real fun to play because it kind of flips all the things you've been doing in the game prior like on its head.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll just say that it's really good. So I'm super stoked that they are making a sequel. Because I thought it was very good. It really is. They really looked at The Last of Us and they're like, we could do something similar because it feels like one long. I'm talking about the first one here. Like the second one's a very different beast. But it's got its own emotional weight and very good performances, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So
looked at The Last of Us to get rid of Nathan Drake. Give us Amelia. all those thieves, get rid of them. Put rats instead. Perfect.
Yeah, the rats are all the people that Nathan killed in all the Uncharted.
Oh my god, that's a lot of people.
That's a lot of rats.
My goodness. Cool.
And then quickly after that, I jumped back into Dead Space 2 again. I've played that before. I just wanted to play it again. Very good game. Still like one of the best horror games like out there, I think.
I have not played Dead Space 2.
Oh man, do yourself a favor. It's on Game Pass as well.
Don't know if I have
backwards
it
compatible, all of that good stuff. And then I played Dead Space 3, which is not as good. Not clearly, well, definitely the weakest of the 3. It's more like a action shooter than a horror. I can't recall being scared once in that game. And they do the thing where it's like it's like the Resident Evil 4 thing where it's just more enemies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like not fear, it's just overwhelming quantities.
Numbers, yeah.
So I think that also kind of breaks down the whole Dead Space combat mantra of like dismember enemies. When there's like 5,000 coming at you, it's very difficult to be precise and feel tension there. I just had a machine gun and I was shooting them.
Just mowing them down. But wasn't Dead Space 3 a co-op one as well?
Yeah, so a lot of people, when I tweeted that I was playing it, said that they played a co-op and had a really good time co-op. And I can believe that because I think co-op would be fun.
That's like Resident Evil 5, where I was kind of shocked that some people hated on Resident Evil 5. And I was like, why? And I've only ever played it co-op, and that's why.
That's a good
great
point,
time
actually.
playing with my friends. I've played through it multiple times with different people, and I've enjoyed it every time. So
yeah, I've only ever played RE5 in co-op as well. Yeah, and it's really good. Like,
what you gonna say with the bots? I'm like, no.
No, oh god, no. I tried with
the
the bots. It actually irritated me. It's Resident Evil 5 co-op is fun. So I would say probably it's around the same. They do some weird things with the weapon system in 3. It's like, in 1 and 2 you get weapons as you progress, or you buy specific weapons. This one they're like, cool, there are no specific weapons. We'll give you all these pieces to basically give you like a gunsmith. So you get like a frame and then a core, which determines what type of ammo you shoot and whatever. And, it's like building your gun like that. But it's very clearly skewed towards their microtransaction plans at the time, because you're just picking up so many different resources so you can craft these things. And then on top of it, like, your ammo is completely standard. So you don't pick up plasma cutter ammo or line cutter ammo. You just have ammo, quote unquote.
Oh, wow.
So it removes a lot of the survival
Tension,
element because you're just picking up ammo. So also, you can only hold 2 guns at a time instead of 4, which I thought was fucking stupid. But yeah, anyway. But I guess if they're just like making ammo ambiguous, I guess you don't need to shuffle between so many weapons.
No.
So yeah, it's definitely not as good. I think the setting's very interesting because it's like on this ice planet, and you get these moments where it's almost like you have these open world hubs for you to explore, like side missions and stuff, which I think are fun. But other than that, like, I played it because I needed to see what everyone has been talking about for like the past decade about this game, and I've seen it and probably won't play it again.
Are you like, yeah,
very keen for that remake that's been worked on though.
Me too.
Hella hyped for that, yeah.
Is that not this year? I'm presuming next year earliest.
Yeah, I don't know. That's EA Motive working on it, so yeah, I'm not sure when it's planned to release, but I'm pretty sure we'll see more of it this year. Yeah. Trying to think of something
what
else I played. I mean, I've been playing something for review already that I can only talk about next week. What else did I play? Oh, I started up Spiritfarer on Xbox again because I kind of bounced off of it on Switch because I think I just got busy. And now it's on Xbox with all the content. So I'm like, cool, I'm going to play it there. Man, that game's so good.
It's
so
real
chill.
Good. But it's interesting because that to me is a game that works best on Switch.
Because it's portable.
It's super portable. That is the first game I finished last year. Despite being not old, but it wasn't, a new release last year, and I really loved it.
It's quite a long game,
fantastic
isn't it?
Game. It took me, I'm thumb sucking, but 15, 20 hours, if not more.
It's not like a very short 6-7 hour.
No.
Game.
It's a very clever balance of, unlocking new destinations and then making your way towards them while doing some micro management stuff. Collecting resources, tidying up your little barge, and
like moving between islands and stuff. I've already got Stella's uncle, the like frog.
What's his name?
Azul, I think.
It's a something. That story is real good.
He's fun.
Be curious to know your thoughts if and when you finish it.
I like him because I can feed him anything and he's happy. It's like me. Feed me anything and I'm happy.
You meet some interesting characters in that game.
It's good. I still laugh at the opening to the game because like I think at the time I was also playing Hades, and I played a lot more Hades in December while I was in Cape Town because I just had the Switch.
Shocker.
And like the opening of Spiritfarer is like Karen, and it's just like very weird to see that Karen and then the Karen in Hades, and you're just like, oh, these are two different people who are the same people, really.
Do I fight this Karen? Oh wait,
I have never beaten Karen in Hades.
Wow, he's a tough boss. Yeah.
Every time I try him, I get him down to maybe like his final third, and then he just fucking obliterates me. Like,
I'll come out and say that about a week or two ago, I booted up Hades because I was like, it's been a long time since I've done a run. And I made it to Hades. I put in a whole lot of modifiers, to keep some progress, get some resources. Made it to Hades and I died. I was like, well, there goes the whatever streak I had last year. It's like 20 or 30 runs unbeaten. I was like, damn it.
Yep.
I'm just so rusty at the game.
I was so rusty when I picked it up in December. I beat Hades, I think, on my second run. And then after that, I got to him pretty consistently and kept dying. And I'm like, what wrong?
What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I cannot understand what's going wrong. But I've started unlocking a lot of the
aspects.
The final the aspects and the final boons from people. So the sort of like the allies that you can bring with you. Which makes some fights really easy. Like the scaly one is stupid because you just have someone to focus fire for like a very long time. And the fact that it works on bosses seems broken, but
it works for speedruns and whatnot.
It's fun.
So
Good time. Hades still good in 2022.
What's your best time in Hades? That's the thing to aim to.
Oh God, I don't even know. It's not that fast because I know there's some times that are like 15, 16 minutes. I don't think I've ever got close to that.
Speed runs are like, I'm thumb sucking, but like 7 minutes,
Fuck
8
that.
minutes. You're like, how?
Anyways,
How's
I haven't even got out of Tartarus by then. You know what I mean?
You're gonna put that modifier on, which limits time. Then you'll
oh no, I do,
run.
and it gives me like 10 minutes per thing, and I like just make it every time.
No.
I'm like sweating bullets when I'm fighting the
So
bull
close.
and what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. Theseus, because I'm just watching that time and like, fuck.
It's a great game.
What have you been playing
Cool.
this fine holiday season?
So over the holiday period, I finished up a bunch of games, actually. It's funny because I think I started a lot of games, November, December, and then I just wrapped up a lot of them over the holiday period. And even this week already, I've like rolled. I think this week I've rolled credits on 3 games, one day after the other, just the way it lined up. So I'll start with the first finish of the year, Pokemon Shining Pearl, the remake of the DS Pokemon, 3rd gen, 4th gen. It's fun. It's a Pokemon. I felt that coming off Sword and Shield that there were some modernizations there that just were absent in Pearl.
In this one, yeah.
So the most obvious one, you can't speed up battles, which I was like,
oh, that's a bummer.
We're in 2021/2022 now. How is that not a thing? Like, I'm awful. I don't mind random encounters and stuff, but when you have them back to back, it's just like, oh, can I please speed this up? But yeah, other than that, it's a standard Pokemon game, and I enjoyed it. But I felt that for a remake, they could have done a little bit more on that front.
Okay.
Sure, still.
Did you like the chibi style?
I love the art style, and I think as far as the gen goes, there's some really cool Pokemon in there. I started off with Piplup, the little penguin who became a big boy by the end. That final evolution.
Yeah, he becomes quite large. Yeah,
clearly hit the gym, got some gains.
He's been eating his protein shakes or drinking
his protein,
eating all that fish.
All it really got me excited for, honestly, is Pokemon Arceus, which I'm very curious to see.
In a week. When you're listening to this, it'll be this week.
It'll be this week. Yeah, I'm very curious to know how that game
I'm very keen for that
because that seems to be an actual break of the Pokemon formula. You're not doing
and like
gems
there was the bad news sort of that the full game like leaked already.
I haven't
like
read into that. Yeah,
but like all the the people that are downloading the ROM or whatever have like high praise for it, which that could go like one or two ways. Like a game could leak and people are like, wow, this is garbage, don't buy this, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and people are like, this is fucking great.
When the pirates are like, yeah, buy this game, like,
yeah, ooh.
That's when you pull out your tinfoil hats.
They're like, do as I say, not as I do.
This is a 400 IQ marketing plan. Leak the ROM, get people to play it, share the impressions. Oh, I got a coffee.
Playing 40
and a chocolate
chess,
croissant. Look at this.
Oh my
Bam.
goodness.
This is why I married Lenska. She feeds me. No, now my camera's bugged.
That's what you get for not sharing your croissant over the internet.
So yeah, look, Pokemon Pearl's not a bad game. I just felt that, I could have done a bit more.
Did we both got Shining Pearl, hey, not
Shining
Brilliant
Pearl.
Diamond.
Oh God, what is it with this camera? Yeah. So what is the Pokemon you get's name? I can't even remember.
Oh, that thing. It looks like a Transformer.
It's Metal Gear.
Yeah,
that's right.
It actually does look like Metal Gear. Like
spoiler,
Metal Gear
Kojima
Ray,
remade
Metal
this
Gear
game.
Rex. Yeah.
Wow.
Did you also get your Mew like really early in the game?
Oh no! I remember reading about it, but I never got the Mew.
There's someone you talk to, and they're just like, "Here's this Pokemon."
Mew.
They just fucking give you a Mew.
I will say, the game has a system. I think it's called the Underground, which is a whole lot of caverns that you can just explore to get collectibles and encounter Pokemon. Like
a recursive dungeon type of thing.
And that I don't think it's recursive. I think it's like persistent, but you know, the actual hubs between refresh with different Pokemon.
Got
and what I
you.
will say, sorry, there are, like this game for its time, I think must have been mind blowing because if I'm not mistaken, it's very much tied to your system clock. So certain things only happen at certain times of the day, and certain Pokemon only appear on certain times of the day. So I can on certain days. So for example, I encountered a Pokemon. At just poor timing, I didn't have enough Pokeballs, and my Pokemon were all very weak, so I had to just kill it. I couldn't capture it.
How dare you?
And then how dare I? Then I went back and I was like, oh, this Pokemon is just never here again. And I spoke to John Michael, who bought a Switch to play this game and other upcoming Switch games.
Things you love to see.
Things you love to see. The man is hooked on Animal Crossing, let me tell you. He's put in 70 hours now.
I can only imagine.
And he was explaining to me, like, no, this is very much the thing of that. What Pokemon did you encounter? This one. I looked it up. It only appears on Friday afternoons. I'm like, that is
hectic.
That's
cool.
That is quite something. I mean, I imagine back in the day that would have been a very cool feature to dig into, you know, sharing, you know, notes with your friends of like, have you been in this town at this time? This Pokemon appears.
That's so cool.
So like that sort of thinking is in the game, which is very cool. Yeah. So again, I'm not hating on the game. I just felt that they could have done one or two more things to bring it to a modern audience, you know, just speed up battles. That's literally the only thing I want. Then we're good. So yeah, I played Pokemon Pill. I played Firewatch.
Yes, finally.
Which it's one of those. It's funny because this is almost on the same level of Outer Wilds, where it's one of those games where everyone praises it, and I don't know anything about it, and I know I have to get to it at some stage. And you know, like Outer Wilds last year, I finally got it. I was like, damn, this is some good crack. How did I not play this?
And
earlier?
it's an old game. It's like 2016 or 2015.
So Firewatch was added to Game Pass. Let me tell you, Game Pass, what a great service. And I thought this is we're in this weird quiet time now where there's no new games, no review games to play. So I'm like, it's a 6-hour game. Let me just get in there. And yeah, Firewatch is a fantastic game. It's funny because I really knew nothing about the game other than you are a ranger. Like that was the extent of my knowledge. That opening doesn't pull its punches. It's fucking sad.
Yeah, it's
things
so sad.
Unfold.
Yeah.
And I really, so just for context, before you get into, you know, the fire ranging, the stage is set through. It's just a whole lot of title screens with dialogue and you choosing options here or there, like what do you say, what do you do? And it's just sets up the story for why your character Henry has decided to become this ranger in this very remote, very quiet place for, you know, the 3 months of summer. So I'm not going to spoil that because if you want to play the game, it's just a really good emotional setup, and immediately you feel like there's some agency and you have a connection to this character. Like, damn, like this dude.
It's hectic, yeah. The opening really sets a very strong stage for you to go through,
which of course leads to who you interact with throughout the game. Another character called Delilah, who you just engage with. She's another ranger in another part of the park, and while you're doing these park rangery things, you just have these dialogues with her. And the dialogue is like chef's kiss. These characters are voiced so well. The dialogue,
10 out of 10 dialogue.
The dialogue it's unreal how it comes off so natural.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a conversation. I could go drop in on a park now and listen to these two random people having a conversation like this. It doesn't feel forced, doesn't feel like, I don't know, it just came across so well. And yeah, hats off to the writers in this game because it's just, and of course
it's the backbone of that game is the dialogue.
The actor and the actress whose names I do not know, but Henry and Delilah are like incredible characters. And yeah, I just really enjoyed my time with the game.
It's very good, yeah, and they make you do like forest rangery things, but there's like, it's very fun. I love the art, the like very colorful, chunky art style.
This art style is amazing.
It's so good. It's so
the
good.
The way the day starts. It's, you know, you've got these sort of almost like blue hues of, the sun's high up in the sky, it's blue and green, but then as the sun starts to set, everything just gets drenched in this orange, and it's I was quite upset with the game because you get given a camera in the game, one of those old film cameras, and you've got 24 photos, and you don't have to take them, but you sort of know if you've played a game before, like, I'm going to take these photos, they're going to come back at some point, or I'm just going to get to look at them later. My photo file's corrupted. And I think I know why. It's because I finished the game, and then I was like, where can I grab these photos? Like, I'd love to. I spent some time taking some really nice photos, and I was like, I want to put these up on Twitter. And then I read somewhere that, when the credits roll, you get a link to an online site, which has all of them. So I went back and I redid the last like 5 minutes of the game. And I think that overwrote all my previous progress. So my photos were gone. So I was like, damn it.
Hate to see it.
You hate to see it. But Firewatch, good game. Ending not as good as the build up to it, but the game is real good. Would recommend if you've got Game Pass, or if it's actually on every damn platform. I think it's on Switch as well.
I think that's right.
And it's if you're looking for like a 4 to 6 hour just story, I can highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like one of the best narrative experiences I've had. And like I told you during the week, like you think about that, like that's a team that Valve acquired, and they worked very heavily on Half-Life Alyx. So a lot of the dialogue in Half-Life Alyx written by the same people, and can tell you just as good.
No, not to take away from the visuals of Firewatch and gameplay and mechanics, but I really think that Valve looked at that game and thought the writing and the dialogue in this game is like, it's next level. Like, that is a benchmark to aspire to for any game.
And it makes me real sad that they had announced a game before
Valley of the Gods.
And it seems like that's not just gonna happen. So bummer, because that seemed like a very cool premise as well. But you, like you said, you never know. Valve lets its employees work on kind of whatever, but and I think as soon as they got there, like Half-Life Alyx was a thing, and they were like, Half-Life. So we'll see.
As soon as they're done working on Dota 3, they'll get to Valley of the Gods.
They're writing all the dialogue for Dota 3.
They just have to finish working on Dota 3, Half-Life 3, Left 4 Dead 3, Team Fortress 3. Then they can get to Valley of the Gods.
Just a casual number of games.
Portal 3, oh my God, imagine this team working on Portal.
Oh my goodness. That would be
because Portal 2, game great, writing also great. So
very good. A new Portal from this team, I'd be very happy.
Take my money. A new Portal in VR. Don't take my money.
Just a new
make
Portal,
you so
really.
sick.
Just give me a new Portal. Good Lord. Could you imagine doing like all those physics-based ones where it's like you have to maintain momentum? Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah.
And then this week we played on stream a little old game called Castle Crashers. Which
very
is
old game.
Yeah, I think it's 2011, 2012.
I think Castle Crashers 2 exists even now.
Really?
Check that.
I don't know. But Castle Crashers is very much a game that looks like it was made in Flash. It might have been made in Flash initially, like as a trial. I don't know what the final game's made in, but it's basically a 1 to 4 player side-scrolling beat 'em up / RPG. It's just, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty, but it's just dumb fun. It's you and your friends, casting spells, picking up different melee weapons. It's super simplified. When you level up, you get points to put into, I think it's strength, health, magic, and speed. And it's a 6 to 8 hour experience. Just good fun.
It's great. Yeah, it's a very fun. It was one of those very early Xbox Live Arcade games. You know what I mean? And it very much feels like that sort of thing. So very good game. I was confused. There is no sequel. I confused it with Costume Quest, which has a sequel. So,
Castle Crashers, Costume Quest. Costume Quest.
So yeah, that's what I
Same
could. But yeah,
difference.
Castle Crashes is fucking amazing.
I did
Yeah.
play their sequel. Well, not a sequel to Castle Crashes, but their next game called Battle Block Theater, which is a platformer. It was good fun. I love that game. But Castle Crashes is a very old game. You can probably pick it up for next to nothing on, I'd imagine. I don't know if it's on Switch, but I'm pretty sure you can grab it on PlayStation and
I think
Xbox.
it did
Maybe
come
not
to Switch actually.
I don't know. Yeah, if you want, I don't know what it's
105 Randellas on
nice
on
Steam. Yeah,
sorry.
it's super cheap.
There's even a demo.
I don't know what the game is like single player, but playing with 3 other friends would recommend. Good fun.
Very fun art. I like it.
Yeah, I think that's probably my only criticism of the game is that the art is very vibrant, which makes it very difficult to see what's going on. There's a lot happening on the screen.
That's fair.
That's just me nitpicking. And then the last thing I rolled credits on just yesterday, in fact. Last year's Game of the Year, actually, at the Game Awards, It Takes Two. This game is, I'm sure I've spoken about it last year. I think it definitely appeared in my top 5 despite me not having finished it because I played enough of it to go, this is some good crack. I would recommend this game to anyone, whether you're a couple, best friends. I don't know if I'd played with an online stranger. I don't know how that works. But definitely as a sit-down co-op experience, like it is amazing that in 2021/2022, there's a couch co-op game that won Game of the Year.
It's very good at that as well.
That should not be a thing. But the studio, Hazelights, that's their thing. They went out and made not just a couch co-op game, a very good couch co-op game where if you don't know what It Takes Two is, just for some quick premise, it focuses on a married couple called Cody and May, who are just about to divorce for a number of reasons. May is working very hard. Cody's doing his thing at home, not happy with each other. And they have a daughter whose name has eluded me now. I think it's Rose.
I actually forgotten. I think it is Rose, yeah.
Rose, who, very upset her parents are getting divorced, makes a wish to a book called The Book of Love by, I think it's Dr. Hakim, which, casts a spell on the parents, and they are turned into 2 little toys who have to figure out how to get back to their human bodies. And what ensues is just a whole lot of platforming and
chaos. It's great.
It's
real nonsense as well.
It's absolute nonsense. This is a game where I can 100% believe the studio had countless sessions saying like, cool, we need an idea for this level. What should we do? And they just brainstormed, and then whatever idea won, they just did it. I can't tell you the number of different ideas and mechanics that are stuffed into this game, and they don't
so many mechanics. Yeah. My God, every level's different mechanics.
It's a different, and even just the setting. It's really good. I mean, rolling credits on it, I was like, it must have been a lot of fun to make this.
I haven't finished it. I've only played, what sounds like the first couple of levels because this game is really long. But even then, every new mechanic feels so polished, and considering how different they all are, it must have taken forever to make everything feel this good. Like one of the beginning ones is where Cody gets like nails and May gets a hammer.
The hammer, yeah.
And the nails feel like the fucking Leviathan axe from God of War. It's so satisfying to just throw one out and have it like return to you. It's really good.
Who are you playing, Cody or May?
I'm playing as Cody, yeah.
So you've got the nail and you throw them.
Yeah. And then in the level after with the squirrels and the wasps, I had like a goo gun, and Shani had a matchstick one.
Yeah, so you've played about 2-3 hours, I'd say.
Yeah, around about there. We played a session, and Shani, who doesn't play games and is very she plays games on her phone, but she doesn't really know a controller that well. So the idea of moving and adjusting the camera is quite foreign to her. So it's nice that there are settings, like accessibility settings, that let you change the strength of the auto camera. And you can set it to really strong, and it actually does a very good job of keeping the camera up with the action. There's been like 1 or 2 instances like that beetle fight. I think you know what I'm talking about. Like that was a bit tricky for her because she had to like aim and shoot in very, short windows of time to like damage the beetles. So, but other than that, we haven't really had real issues, and it's been a lot of fun. Really good.
Keep playing. That game goes places.
It's really beautiful as well. Like it looks gorgeous.
The number of environments and gameplay mechanics and just things you go through. It's stuffed with just so much, and it's I don't know. It's just real good. That's all I can say.
I'm having a great time with it. Yeah,
I can completely understand how it won Game of the Year.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
and this is I think I've said this last year, but I'll repeat it for people like me who forget. But when we started last year, I told Lenska, I said, this game is nominated for Game of the Year. Like, can you see it being a nominee? And she was like, no, it's just like it's a normal game. It's a platformer. We're doing some things. But fast forward a few hours later, I asked her again, said, can you see this as a Game of the Year nominee? She's like, yeah, this is a really good game. Like, you can just see the level of love and detail and just imagination that's been put into this game. When you roll credits, sorry, you mentioned that it's very polished.
Yes.
You'll be shocked at the number of QA credits on this game. Like,
I can only imagine.
I was even floored. I told Lance, I'm like, look how big this QA team is. And then the list just kept going. I was like, holy hell, they tested this game to hell and back, and it feels good. Like, I think we had one bug in a whole playthrough, and it was like such a minor thing. So
yeah. No,
I would recommend. It takes
I can only imagine. But yeah, great game. Really, really enjoying it.
And that's it. We've caught up. Now we're both ready for Pokemon Arceus, Horizon Forbidden West,
hectic New Year coming. Yeah.
Elden Ring, Dying Light 2. That spider game, which name has evaded me? It's also out too.
Spider game.
The pixel web slinging spider game.
Oh, that's out already. Webbed.
What? Is it out?
Yeah, they even ran some.
Why did I think it was only coming out in Feb?
They even ran some. That came out in like September last year. Wait, let me just link to you. So I think we're talking about the same thing.
It's webbed. I'm sure it's webbed. I thought it wasn't out.
It's like a pixel spider game. Yeah, it looks really cute. I watched them run it at AGDQ, and it was real fun.
Okay, well then my bad. I thought it was coming out this month. Point is, there's a lot of games coming out.
Yeah. I mean, look at us. We're willing to play a spider game. So
yeah. I mean, take from that what you will.
I didn't realize, but I mean, when I watched the run, you're a spider that's going to save your little spider boyfriend / girlfriend.
Oh,
which is quite cute, I think.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Cool.
The top review on Steam is I like spiders now. That's
amazing.
It's so good.
I love it.
Oh,
cool. We actually did very well. We're on 48 minutes, so 48-ish minutes.
Oh yeah, Showtime notes say that we are on track.
We do good. Let's do games out this week.
Let's look at this. Let me just open
games out. Wow, we're actually in January, but this is 2021. Where's my 2022 list? Will this work? There we go. Got it. Game's already been off to year's already been off to a good start for people on PC. They got Monster Hunter Rise. They got God of War. If you had a PC,
the Anacrusis came out on early access on Xbox. And
it's on
PC.
Game Pass.
Yeah, I kind of want to try it. It's like apparently it's like Left 4 Dead. So
no, it's if Deathloop and Left 4 Dead had a baby.
Exactly. It's got the style of Deathloop.
It's like the exact same style, very orange and white.
Left 4 Dead. Yeah, it's looks fun. Looks fun. So yeah, just highlights of games that have come out in January already: Monster Hunter Rise, Anacrusis, God of War on PC.
Play this game.
A big one. Nobody Saves the World from Drinkbox. Guacamelee people.
Okay.
And Severed people. So yeah, apparently very good.
Is this also on Game Pass?
Nobody Saves the World?
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, if I look at this list, Anacrusis, Nobody Saves the World, Rainbow Six Extraction, all on Game Pass. Launched on Game Pass. So.
More on that news
and we got
later.
we got the Hitman trilogy on Game Pass now, which is a game you should 100% play. Real
goodness. Cool. But what is coming up
is coming out this week? We're looking at releases from January 22nd to January 28th. So basically the rest of this year's releases.
The rest of this year's, damn.
Sorry, the rest of this month. We've got Hidden Deep coming to Steam Early Access, PC. Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem, which is a real title, coming to PC on January 25th. The Artful Escape, which launched on Xbox Game Pass and PC last year.
I had no idea that was like a quotes-unquote exclusive.
Yeah, it was a timed exclusive. It is now launching on PS4, PS5, and Switch on January 25th. Kingdom of the Dead coming to PC January 26th. Circuit Superstars, PS4 only. Okay, January 27th.
My goodness.
Unforeseen Incidents.
That's so ominous.
It's called My Life. Switch, January 27th. Pokemon Legends. Is it Arceus?
Arceus, yeah.
Arceus coming to Nintendo Switch January 28th.
Get a Pokemon representative come out on YouTube like it's Arceus.
Arceus. It's Arceus.
Arceus. Cool.
And then the final game for the week, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection to PS5. So that's Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy, which is real good. Yeah.
I'm excited for this because I loved Uncharted 4. Not going to replay it because I've played it and it looked great.
It's a very long game as well.
Long game. But I have not played Lost Legacy. So
what a game.
And a lot of people, you included, have said that Lost Legacy is like a real, again, quotes unquote, bite-sized 8-hour-ish.
It's a perfect
Uncharted. Perfect length. It's perfect Uncharted. So
it's really good. It's really good. It's like probably my second favorite Uncharted outside of 2. So yeah,
man, really, Uncharted 2. What a game!
Undefeated. Undefeated. I'll say that much.
Let's just have a quick squiz at next month. Yeah, quickly. Why don't we? So that's the one I forgot. Sifu, Dying Light 2, Sifu. Horizon Forbidden West, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection for Switch, which is quite cool. If you've never played Assassin's Creed. Elden Ring,
which should have launched yesterday as of this recording. Don't worry, it's just a month away.
So it's 5 weeks away. They tweeted.
Apparently the Steam Deck is out in Feb as well. Horizon Forbidden West, did we say that already?
It's the Switch killer. It's coming out next month.
Yes. Ollie World, super stoked for that. I loved Ollie, so
it's too many games. This is just
this year is off to fly, and then March just like it really is just like the fucking floodgates.
Yeah,
there's so much.
Oh my god, Triangle Strategy. What?
Yep.
I had no idea.
Gran Turismo 7.
Yes.
Kirby.
Yeah.
The Forgotten Weird West. I'm very stoked for that. Yeah.
A GTA 5, this game you've probably never heard of before.
Oh yeah, no, definitely a real niche title. Real indie thing you should check out. Yeah.
And then we get to
might not sell that well,
We've got Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga in April.
And then it kind of like falls into the ambiguous 2020. You know what I mean?
Here's a list of things that are supposedly coming out.
We've already had a big delay. Stalker 2 was delayed from April until December. So yeah.
Cool.
News.
Gaming news, man.
Gaming news.
This week.
If you thought things were off to a slow start in the world of gaming, holy shit. This week was
surprise. I mean, it's what the third week of January. Microsoft thought, we're just going to dominate the year. That we're just gonna,
essentially. We're gonna this is all we're going to talk about for the next year.
So if you have missed it somehow, you're a gamer and you've been sleeping for the last week and you've woken up. Somebody woke up and said, "Oh my God, you won't believe what happened." Microsoft has bought Activision Blizzard.
Or are planning to buy.
In a deal that is valued at nearly $70 billion.
I take issue with that rounding up because it's
Yeah,
68.7. Like 1.3
I'm
billion is a
sorry.
lot of dollars.
Can we please just not round it up to 69 and just
I know.
call it a nice deal? Like,
why
whose dumb
didn't
idea was
they just do the math to make sure that was the purchase amount? Like
words out of my mouth?
You were 300 million off. You could have just done it. Like if
Just
you're
round it
spending
up.
that much
It's cool.
money, just do it. Like come on.
That is an obscene amount of money.
It's insane. It is Microsoft, like TM's biggest acquisition ever, not Xbox.
But
like Microsoft is a company.
Yeah, but I would say, I mean, look, I don't know what's the record for the highest paid acquisition, but shit, this is in my head. This is like top 10 stuff. Like $70 billion is crazy.
I mean, it absolutely dwarfs everything.
How much did they pay for Bethesda?
7 billion.
They paid 10 times. I mean, even when they bought Bethesda, it's like, 7 billion. Like that's
7 billion sounded like a lot.
Change,
like even then, like and I mean, the week before, Take-Two purchased Zynga for 12 billion, which seemed like an obscene amount for a mobile-only studio or entity. Microsoft 70 billion. Oh, nearly 70 billion.
You're not living in an alternate reality. Xbox/Microsoft now owns, well, not yet. You're right. Sorry, the deal's only going through next year.
Yeah, okay. at the very latest, June 2023. Okay. This is like Bethesda. It will take a long time.
So when/if it goes through, I don't see an issue with it going through.
I don't see it. Yeah.
When that happens, Xbox will own Overwatch and Diablo and Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, and I love this part of the image, Candy Crush.
Oh yeah,
and StarCraft.
Because I mean, it's Activision, Blizzard, and King, ABK. I mean, King makes tons of money. So,
I just love this image. It's like it's Tracer and it's Diablo and it's this Captain Price and we've got Sylvanas, and we've got Candy from Candy Crush, and then Jim Raynor from StarCraft.
Oh my god!
It's such a weird thing. You'd think you've woken up from a fever dream because an acquisition like this, it sounds like a rumor. And before it
started on the Monday or the Tuesday, and it was just like a tweet being like, there's a report that this might happen, and literally like 10 minutes later, it was like, it's confirmed.
Because I read that, I was like, that is quite a rumor. Like, I don't know if it's true, but Activision Blizzard, like, I'm sorry, when I think Activision, like, just World of Warcraft and Call of Duty alone are huge money makers. So
massive,
I know Microsoft's got huge money. Okay, we know this, but to buy them that's like a power move. They're not going to do that. And then, like you said, it's 10 minutes later. I don't know. I mean,
last year there were those rumors that Microsoft might buy EA, and even I was like, that's too big. Like, there's no way.
There were rumors in December about a Ubisoft acquisition as well because of Rainbow Six Extraction being a Game Pass exclusive and Ubisoft getting some integration with Game Pass. I mean, even that was like, they're going to buy Ubisoft, but then just shove those under the rug.
But we can't overlook the fact that this acquisition. So firstly, Microsoft came to Activision looking to buy. It wasn't the other way around. Whereas with Bethesda was looking for a buyer. Yeah. And this is only really made possible by the tumultuous year that Activision has had, with the all the workplace abuses and sexual assault allegations that have taken place at the company. I mean, it tanked their stock price to from $104, I think, down to nearly 50. So when you think of Microsoft is paying reportedly around $20 to $40 a premium on each share, the total price that they're paying is still lower than what Activision's share price was a year ago.
Yeah.
So,
well, when you wrap it up like that, they bought Activision Blizzard at half price. Good job, Microsoft.
I think if last year didn't happen, if the state of California didn't choose to sue Activision, this purchase would have not happened. It just wouldn't have. So
but this is.
I mean, it seems like Bobby Kotick will be. There's no confirmation. So this is the thing: Microsoft and Activision can't talk about this until this is done, because anything they say affects the current stock price. And it's the same reason why I think last week Phil Spencer was asked about what is Microsoft doing in response to all the Activision allegations and stuff. And he basically gave the most vague answer.
Yeah.
He was like, we are evaluating our relationship with them. Because if he had said something that indicated one way or the other, like it would have been seen as like insider trading, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he would have affected the stock price knowing this information. But yeah, I mean, it seems like Bobby Kotick will be leaving once this deal goes through. Microsoft has definitely adopted a big problem that needs to be solved as well. We can't overlook that. It's not just like overnight things at Activision are better. You know, there's like a systemic problem there. And now for the next 15 months, all discussions are going to be like, will they make exclusives or not? And that's already like dominated most of this week. Like everyone looked at Phil Spencer's statement this week saying he's chatted with Sony,
So
and
that's this piece over here.
Yeah, let me read his tweet verbatim here because it's.
Where is it? Oh, is it not here? It should be here. Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Sure.
Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of the industry and we value our relationship. Now, a lot of people took that as confirmation for Call of Duty staying on PlayStation. I don't know where they get that because this tweet has two very important words here, intent and desire.
Yeah.
And that to me reads like, we want to. Sony needs to agree to whatever terms we've presented to them. And also existing agreements. We don't know what contract Sony has with Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah.
You know, they've been the marketing partner for them for a long time. So maybe that deal extends to 24, 25, you know. And maybe that means Microsoft can't make them, you know, exclusive. Just like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo when the Bethesda deal went through. So
yeah,
I don't know. Who knows? We had this exact same discussion last year when everyone was like, man, they can't remove Elder Scrolls from PlayStation. They're leaving so much revenue on the table. And Microsoft fucking did it. They did all the numbers and they were like, yeah, it's worth it.
You see, I hear that, but when it comes to Call of Duty, a part of
it's a much bigger thing.
A part of me does feel like, would it not just be better to keep like whatever you go and you make a whole lot of other titles with, you know, Activision, Blizzard, whatever. But we know that Call of Duty, I mean, here's a good example. Vanguard came out last year. One of the, you know, quote unquote worst Call of Duties in recent years, still selling top 10 lists on.
Yeah, I think it's like the top.
It's like
I think it's one or two on PlayStation 5 store. Yeah.
I mean, it's selling big time. I mean, would it not just make sense to go, well, we own Call of Duty. You can get it on Game Pass for free or buy it on PlayStation at full price, and you're still going to sell millions. Like, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do. But
I see that 100% argument,
right.
I think this is also. I listen a lot to the podcast, Giant Bombs podcast, and Jeff Gertzman and Jeff Grubb, to like industry vets, which you don't get quite often. They both seem to agree that this is a sort of like potentially a power move to force Sony to put a Game Pass something on PlayStation. Because to me, you know, Bethesda was a means to drive Game Pass subscriptions. I don't think you pay this much money knowing that Call of Duty is the big win in this deal and then just release it still. Yeah. Like,
no, fair.
You want to drive subs somewhere, you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
And if Sony doesn't want to play ball, then Microsoft has this really easy out saying, we wanted to, they didn't play ball.
They didn't, yeah. 100%.
So yeah, I think at the very least, Warzone doesn't go away. I think Warzone is a thing that just stays, and maybe Call of Duty, there's already rumblings that it will move away from a yearly cycle, a yearly release cycle, which I think is the best thing. Like the number of, every Activision studio is working on Call of Duty. So I tweeted this out earlier in the week. I was like, remove Call of Duty as a annual title, make it like every 2 or 3 years, like a Battlefield, and get the studios to look at all this new IP that Microsoft has just bought and be like, what can we do with this, you know? what new games can we create that again will, deliver value to Game Pass? So, I mean, get Raven working on something, get Infinity Ward putting out a new IP. Like, holy shit, they I don't think Call of Duty is the treasure trove here. It's the rest,
Exactly.
It's the teams. So.
Yeah, but I think we can both agree it's look, there are people have pros and cons to this acquisition, but I like to think that it's very exciting for that reason that it's not that Activision Blizzard is not creative, but it feels like they've just been the Call of Duty machine predominantly,
and they've been in trouble.
They've been in trouble, but it feels like this acquisition is a great move because what if Microsoft just greenlights a whole lot of new projects? Like they dig into an archive of existing IPs or just, spin up new ones. I mean, it's funny because the biggest criticism of Xbox over the past few years, I mean, and I'm one of those critics, is like we only get Halo and Forza and Gears and all these these repeat franchises, which isn't a bad thing, but it doesn't pull me over to Xbox when all you're offering is the same thing, Now we've got a whole lot of Bethesda studios, a whole lot of other studios like Double Fine, obviously has put out Psychonauts, some other smaller studios.
But
and
now the whole
Ninja Theory, you've got Activision. It's like Phil Spencer just looked at the problem. It's like the only way we solve this is just by snapping up as many studios as we can.
I mean, at least in the short term, because you don't develop a company on the level of a Naughty Dog overnight. No. That is decades of work. You know what I mean?
But I mean, think of what the future of Game Pass looks like now.
Yeah,
it's
insane. Like I was just going to say, you say that you've never been drawn to Xbox because of the exclusives, but you have been subscribed to Game Pass for over a year now.
True,
and that's what they want.
Exactly.
That is their play. That is different from Sony. And I don't think Sony needs to respond identically. You know what I mean? No. I think Sony's got their Game Pass, quote unquote, competitor Spartacus coming out apparently later this year. But even from the details that have leaked, whether they are still accurate or not, it doesn't sound like a Game Pass competitor because Sony's not putting their games day and date on that service because they can't afford to. They are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on these games and they need them to sell. They just do not have the capital to put them on that service. So I don't think Sony comes out and says, well, we are changing our Spartacus plans in wake of this. I think they need to now have very frank discussions with Xbox and be like, this is a big blow to them. Like we said, it's the top selling game on PS4 and PS5 in the calendar year. So if that is not going to come to their consoles, that is a big chunk of revenue that's just gone from them. So yeah, we'll see. And for all intents and purposes, Sony's exclusives are fantastic games.
Exactly.
But if you look at the top 20 list, the only one there, which is actually surprising, is Miles Morales, which has some legs.
I think it's only there now again because of the Spider-Man movie. I think
it could. Yeah, that's also true. That's also true.
A lot of people. I mean, I left that movie as like I should play Miles Morales and Spider-Man again.
Yeah. And Deathloop was only 18th. Like these exclusives are good, but they do not make the type of money back that. These exclusives are there to sell the hardware, and then the hardware is there to sell these games that are ultra popular.
Well,
it's not the other way around. Yeah,
I think God of War is a good example because that's probably one of the best selling Sony games, and I think I'm thumb sucking, but it's probably on like 15, 20 million.
Yeah, and
copies.
That's fucking great for an exclusive. But yeah,
but now think of a Call of Duty, which sells that, if not more, every single year. God of War came out 4 years ago.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's consistent. And, when you think about God of War PS4, the PS4 is reached over 100 million units. 15 million is very good and it returns on that investment, no problem. But the attach rate is tiny.
Yeah.
It's 1 in every 10 almost,
Yeah, whereas like maybe, again, thumbs like 1 in every 4 PlayStation people will buy Call of Duty.
Exactly.
It's just way bigger.
It's just a different calculation. So, I'm already a bit tired of all these. Every day there seems to be a new read on some very vague quote that seems to extrapolate some confirmation from there. Microsoft and Activision can't confirm anything because Microsoft doesn't own this entity yet. They cannot make decisions before they do that. So Phil Spencer can come in and say he intends to do this or desires to do X.
Yeah, but he can't put it in stone.
Go back a year and a half and read his statements when they acquired Bethesda. They are scary similar, like almost identical. And we all know what happened when that deal went through. So I don't see why it would be different, to be honest. But we'll see.
Yeah, last thing on this, so we're not going to go through all of this, but just if you're a video viewer, here's a list of all the studios Microsoft owns now.
Oh well, yeah. Let's go through it because they
That's
own
a lot.
They own more than Sony now. So 343 Industries currently working on Halo. Activision Blizzard, which itself
consists of
is so many developers: Raven, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, so many. Alpha Dog Games, they work on some mobile stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Arcane, which are working on Redfall and I presume a new IP. Bethesda Game Studios working on Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Compulsion Games, I can't recall, they announced something, but I can't recall what it was. Double Fine just put out Psychonauts 2. Its software there's rumblings that they're working on Quake.
Indiana. Oh, yeah. Who's doing Indiana Jones then? Is that just
Machine Games?
Oh, is it Machine? Oh, okay, that's further down. Cool.
In Exile Entertainment, they do Wasteland. I'm not sure what they work on currently. Machine Games working on Indiana Jones. Mojang.
We forget
Minecraft.
this one as well. Minecraft is also like a
huge Minecraft one.
Huge.
And a lot of people point towards Minecraft, as a template for what will happen with Call of Duty. Entirely possible. So yeah. Ninja Theory working on Hellblade 2. Obsidian Entertainment, they're working on Avowed. And Grounded. Yeah. Playground Games working on Fable. And I assume another Forza Horizon. Rare is working on, what is that game? Everwild, I think it's called. Roadhouse Studios, not entirely sure.
Yeah, a lot of these I don't actually know.
Tango Gameworks is Ghostwire Tokyo.
Okay. Which, sorry, just on that, there were rumors of it coming out in March already?
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm down for that. The Coalition working on new Gears stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a new Gears coming. I would not be shocked if that's revealed this year. The Initiative is working on Perfect Dark, if I'm not mistaken. Reboot of that.
Reboot.
Turn 10 Studios, Forza Motorsport, that's coming out this year. Undead Labs did State of Decay, and I think they're working on more of that. World's Edge, I have no idea. Xbox Game Studio Publishing is just publishing lots of exclusives, and ZeniMax Online, Fallout 76.
Who did Age of Empires? Is that not just Xbox Game Studios?
It might be, Xbox Game Studios Publishing, It might be. ZeniMax is also, they do Elder Scrolls Online. So, yeah. I mean, you look at that.
That's a list and a half.
A lot of these are also games that are going to start being revealed this year. Like this year, Microsoft can start giving real good looks at Perfect Dark, at Fable. I'm sure they're going to show off Forza Motorsport 8. And maybe whatever its software is working on.
Also,
Redfall from Arcane.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see actual gameplay this year.
These deals are starting to kick off now, and in a year or two, you're going to get an Xbox exclusive game dropping on Game Pass every 2-3 months. And that's the cadence they've been building up to. These things.
I mean, last year was already a very solid year for Xbox, but not particularly the first half of the year, but the second half was.
I thought it was super strong.
Age of Empires 4, Forza Horizon, Halo Infinite, and
Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts 2. I mean, that was 4 big games in 6 months.
And then on top of it, the Bethesda deal closing, so all of those Bethesda games coming to Game Pass. And I mean, Deathloop came out, and yes, it was a PS5 exclusive, but the way it was received means good things for the game when it comes to Xbox.
Deathloop won awards. It was Microsoft winning awards, sorry to say.
So, very interesting.
So we've spent a lot of time on that, but because it's big news,
it is industry.
What a way
industry shifting news, and
what a way to start.
A lot of people going, antitrust and monopolistic behavior, and I definitely was thinking that when the news first came out, but I've read a lot of articles now, good journalistic outlets reaching out to actual lawyers who are involved in this sort of thing. And I haven't seen one lawyer suggesting that this will be an issue, because a lot of people saying that this is what they call like vertical growth. So it is not something that will affect Sony, and there's still tons of competition. There's hundreds of studios making games, multiple publishers.
Exactly.
There's no way that...
I mean, and you said Xbox owns more studios than Sony now. I mean, I don't know what the raw number is, but Sony also has a fair share of studios.
Sony's annual revenue, I mean, Daniel Ahmad, who's he's an industry financial analyst on Twitter, he was using 2020 numbers to kind of approximate where this would put Microsoft, because Microsoft, before this acquisition, was the 4th largest revenue maker if you just look at games in the world. Top is Tencent, second was Sony, third was Nintendo, fourth was Microsoft. This puts them third. They still, based on his estimates, behind Sony in terms of, annual revenue. So like, you can't argue monopoly when you see figures like that, in my view.
It's my favorite part of this acquisition is that Nintendo can keep doing its own thing.
Nintendo just fucking trucks along.
Nintendo just does its own thing, doesn't care.
Reset Era was like having a fucking nightmare situation. They were like, should Sony and Nintendo team up to take down Microsoft? It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Like, they are totally fine. Like, Call of Duty is a big problem for Sony to solve, but it is not we are going to stop making PlayStations kind of.
I don't think this is the PlayStation killing move.
Nah, not at all. No.
People forget how big PlayStation is, I think. I don't know. It's on surface level, you panic. But when you look at the raw numbers, it's like PS4 outsold Xbox hugely last generation.
And, I think a lot of people are rightly concerned about, the conglomeration of all gaming underneath the umbrella of 2 or 3 companies, But at the same time, every time this happens, you see top executives and top designers stay there for 6 months, get a good payout because it's probably baked into their contract, and leave and then start up a new studio. It's happened a lot with Bethesda. So and it happened a lot with Activision Blizzard last year when they were going through all this shit. Like, there was like a month last year where there were like 2 studio openings a week. So like, it's fine.
Let me tell you, if you want more insight into that, over the holiday I read Press Resets. Good book by Jason Schreier.
Yeah, very good.
Where his first book, every chapter was about a game being developed. This book
game
follows
success usually,
Yeah, this book follows a different formula in that it follows people and studios, and it's quite something to see turnover and how being acquired by a big conglomerate can result in good and bad things. So,
and for what it's worth, all the studios that have been quite vocal about Microsoft have been very positive. I mean, Tim Schafer has said that they can make the games they want with the stability they want now.
Yeah.
So, that can always change. And at the end of the day, all of these are money moves. Yes, there is capitalism baked into this, but it's interesting. Interesting time in games right now. Yeah.
Okay, let us fly through the rest of this news. So just one thing tied to that acquisition, well, not tied to it, but coming from it, is QA testers at Activision Blizzard's Raven Software announced intent to unionize.
They've been striking since December.
Yeah.
I think this was like week 7 or 8 of them striking. So this is great. This is good to see.
And it's worth pointing out that unions exist in gaming, not in America though.
Yeah.
So
when we say it's like a first union or whatever, we're talking about America, because there are unions for studios in Europe pretty abundantly. So it's America that is a real issue with this. But I mean, this has been brewing. They've been striking for a while now. Warzone is in a bit of a state because of this as well, which just highlights how important the role of QA is in the pipeline. I mean, real respect to these workers really going out on a limb and doing this. I hope it works out.
In PlayStation news, next month we're getting Horizon Forbidden West. So I've not watched this trailer.
Neither have I. Oh,
But,
no.
Okay, so we're not going to watch it for spoiler reasons. But there's a new story trailer, which obviously is just driving hype for the game, which is out in, is it like 2 or 3 weeks? It's right around the
very
corner.
soon. Very soon. They announced some new cast members. I know Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix is voicing a character here. So that's cool.
Very cool.
I'm super stoked for this game. Very excited.
Particularly why I'm excited for this game, because I think when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, it came out alongside Breath of the Wild. And a lot of people looked at Breath of the Wild and said, that's cool, I can do whatever I want. And then they played Horizon and thought, this is cool, but I can't climb whatever I look at, which it was just at the time, Breath of the Wild really broke that barrier. But if you've watched any footage of the new Horizon, Aloy has a hand glider, which is very much like, hello, Breath of the Wild. Thanks for the idea.
you know what makes me laugh about that hand glider is like when she pulls it out and opens it, like the parachute material is like holograms of light. How is that catching air?
This is the future. We don't ask questions.
Like,
in a world with robot dinosaurs, you don't dare ask.
It looks fucking cool, but there's some physics that aren't happening.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, I'm keen to see, because don't get me wrong, Horizon Zero Dawn, I loved that game. I played it like a year after the fact. Loved the hell out of it. I'm just keen to see them take that formula and, evolve it with lessons from Breath of the Wild and other games that have come out since then.
And also, like, this is the power of the sequel. I mean, if you look back at some of the most successful franchises that Sony has done, your Uncharted's, your Last of Us, they really fucking peak in the sequel. Like, they are good opening games, but the sequel, I mean, Last of Us 2 and Uncharted 2 are marked like improvements over the first game. So, yeah, and Horizon Zero Dawn was a big shift in game design for Guerrilla. They had never done a game like that.
They did shooters.
Yeah, they did Killzone and they did shooters.
Come on.
And then they transitioned to a very heavy action open world game.
And they did it very well.
I have a lot of faith in this thing, like hitting all the right marks. I'm very keen to play it. Yeah.
In Nintendo news. But Pokemon Arceus is coming out next week. But if you want something to play in February,
hell yeah,
we're going back to the past. Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask coming to Nintendo Switch Online.
The best Zelda.
I know.
You heard it here, folks.
Can I? Okay, now I'm going to slap some controversy on you here. Are you ready? I have not played Majora's Mask.
I know. I mean, there's a lot of games you haven't played that are very good.
I know. I've got to play catch up here. But I did laugh because you're like, the best Zelda game. I was like, excuse me? Breath of the Wild exists? How dare you, sir?
I really love this game.
You pointed out, though, that the 3DS remake / remaster is probably the better one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot better. I mean, the N64 ones you get on Switch are, the originals. So if you want to be a purist about that, but like,
what is the first N64 title? That first Zelda one, I mean,
Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I started that just to see what it looked like. I was like, this is very old.
Yeah, it's very.
And I just don't know if I'll get into this.
And again, if you want to play Ocarina of Time for the first time, I would say play it on the 3DS as well, the remake there. That's where I played it first. And the same with Majora's Mask. There's just some features that are better in the remake. Like they give you certain quality of life items that make navigating the time loop aspect a bit more manageable. And it just looks better, I think. So yeah, it's good though. I think Majora's Mask is like Ocarina of Time, but just better. It's also one of the few Zelda games where Zelda like does not feature like at all.
Oh, Majora's Mask.
Yeah. Majora's Mask is like contained to a town and the problems in that town. It is very much not a Ganon and Hyrule big adventure. And I think maybe that's why I like it. There's still some world-ending shit happening, but yeah, it's cool. And it's probably got the best villain in the Zelda franchise with Skull Kid. So
nice.
Yeah. Very good game. Very, very good game.
On Switch news, the Switch killer.
Boom.
coming out next month, the Steam Deck. So if you don't know what the Steam Deck is, it's basically Valve's mobile PC gaming device. Not PC
running
gaming,
on Linux. Yeah.
But because it is a mobile device with access to a library of tens of thousands of games, that obviously have to go through some compatibility shenanigans. So because
it's running on Linux.
Yeah. So the news this week is that the first batch of compatibility rated games are now available for viewing. 67 rated so far, 39 passing with flying colors. And if you want to get into the nitty gritty, I think if I recall reading that there are 4 tests or something that these games have to pass.
Okay.
So if where was it? Yeah, a game must first pass 4 checks. All functionality must be accessible when using the machine's default controller configuration. Steam Deck controller icons must be shown in-game. Interface text must be legible on the display screen, and the default graphics configuration must perform well.
Wow, the default graphics, that's a high bar for some games. Like,
so yeah,
wow.
so when we say a game passes with flying colors, you say, oh, only 39 out of 67. Like, that's not actually a high number. It's because it ticked all 4 boxes. You might have a game that only, it ticks all boxes, but the text isn't as legible on the screen. So it's definitely playable.
Like you can see there in the other, the next paragraph, it says at the end there, as for Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, some in-game text may be small and difficult to read, so it doesn't get a flying colors because of that.
Exactly. So the point is that the Steam Deck is looking real hot because games are working fine on it.
Oh my God, look there, Castle Crashers, Matt.
You
can fucking take it on the go.
Death's Door.
Death Stranding. Wow, that is...
My goodness. Yeah, I mean, so verified. I mean, I don't know where Death Stranding didn't get flying colors, but you can play it on the Steam Deck.
Portal 2. Psychonauts 2.
I mean, look at this list. These are some great games you can play on the go now. Only
Tetris Effect.
Only weird thing, unsupported, Persona 4 Golden. I don't know why.
That is strange, yeah.
But it did not pass the test.
Why is Job Simulator there? That's a VR game. So is Budget Cuts and Arizona Sunshine.
This article does mention that some games are VR, which is like, what? Yeah, look, of the 5 titles currently listed as unsupported, 4 aren't much of a surprise given they're designed for VR headsets.
Oh, that makes no sense to me. Okay. Weird.
Yeah, so however, the one oddity arrives in the form of Persona 4 Golden, with Valve merely noting it's still working on adding Steam Deck support. And then, like I said earlier, this is 67 games of approximately 50,000. So,
I mean, the beauty of the Steam Deck is like Valve is saying, well, you can try anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. The biggest bugbear right now seems to be anti-cheat. So a lot of multiplayer games aren't working at all because they need anti-cheat, and anti-cheat, the level of integration on Linux is just not good enough. So in December, I don't know if this is true now, but I haven't seen anything to indicate otherwise. The top 5 of the top 10 games played on Steam right now will not work on the Steam Deck. Like outright will not work. Because it's stuff like Call of Duty Warzone and Battlefield and PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds that require these anti-cheat systems. So yeah, that's a bit of a problem. And everyone says, you can download Windows, which is true, but you've got to remember that on this hardware, Linux is chosen because it's lightweight. As soon as you load Windows, you're sacrificing performance. You are going to. So yeah. Ooh, Sekiro Shadows died twice.
Dark Souls is here as well. Look, I'm just I can't say I'm going to buy a Steam Deck, but I'm very curious to see.
It would be very difficult for us to buy one.
Exactly, but I'm very curious to see how it is received.
I feel the same. I'm like very curious to see how it performs and what it does, because like hell, if this thing works like and hits in the right way, the second and third gens of this device could be fucking amazing.
Exactly. So, it's like, do I buy a PC or do I buy a Steam Deck?
Yeah, true.
And then last piece of news for this week, Awesome Games Done Quick 2022 raised over $3.4 million, breaking...
Love to see it.
I think it's I don't know what the last record was, but it is the highest that they've ever raised in the history of the initiative. Some good runs coming from this year's events. I'm still busy watching a blindfolded Sekiro run.
Yeah.
Because
why
wouldn't somebody do Sekiro blindfolded, one of the more challenging games in existence? Cool, man. And that is news for this week.
It's great news. It's all good.
All good stuff. Cool.
Should we move over to the first
questions?
Batch, I think. Batch of questions. If you want to send us questions in the year of our Lord 2022, you can email us checkpointchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on all of our social platforms at Checkpoint Chat. Where do we want to start?
We got some questions on Twitter. We have 2 questions from at Jared Bra. He says,
Brah.
"Hey, happy 2022, guys.
Oh, happy 22 to you too.
Have you guys a question one? Have you ever changed your opinion or felt differently about a game after a short or even long time after reviewing it? So have you basically flipped your opinion? Maybe you liked a game and you grew to hate it, or vice versa, you hated a game and you grew to like it. I guess that's the essence of the question. I have an example that comes to mind. If
go
you
for
don't
it,
have
because
any.
I'm still thinking of mine.
So when Final Fantasy 13 was revealed and released on the PlayStation 3, that was a landmark moment for me, because I thought, holy shit, Final Fantasy on the PlayStation 3. This game is going to be the best thing ever. And I bought it on release and I played it, and I was severely disappointed by it for a number of reasons. You know, there's a lot to dislike about the game. But then in the years that followed, I made a thing of playing through all the Final Fantasies. So I've revisited the originals, played all of them through to 10 and 10 to, I still have to play 12, that's missing. But I've, finished every Final Fantasy up to 10 at the very least. And Final Fantasy 13 was absent from that list, and I had it, and I replayed it, and I liked it the second time because my expectations were in check that time. I knew what I was going into. And weirdly enough, I just appreciated the game a lot more. It's still not, it's not the strongest Final Fantasy, but visually amazing. Like, I don't know, I looked at it in a new light and I enjoyed it. So that is definitely a 180 on my part.
That's always good when, you come back to a game and it just like clicks in a different way. And,
yeah. Fun fact though, sorry, I never finished it. I got to the last 5-10% of the game, put it down for something else, and I don't know where my PS3 disc is now.
You can always restart it on Xbox Game Pass.
So I'm going to have to restart
now.
it again just to say that I've finished Final Fantasy 13. My goodness. Yeah.
I can't think of one that I had like a drastic change to after I reviewed it. I mean, it's quite rare for that to happen. Mainly because I don't get to replay games that often. So like my existing thoughts on it. But there've been games that I've come to and like put down for like a year because they're just not working for me, and then come back to and like had a great time. And last year that was Sekiro. Like when I first got it, I was super hyped. I was a fan of Bloodborne. It just didn't grab me like at all. And I put it down for about a year, and then
it came back,
this like urge came back, and then it was just like everything clicked in my brain, and I was just like, yeah, I'm in. Yeah. I understand how this game works now. So,
yeah, it is worth pointing out that sometimes, a game might not feel good at the time for whatever reason. Like maybe you're just not up to it. You're going through some personal stuff, whatever. If you come back and revisit it, maybe you're feeling different and it just clicks better. So
I think the opposite of that, even last year as well, was Back 4 Blood. I was very hot on Back 4 Blood after the beta and, when it launched, but I just, it soured on me very quickly. I just got very bored of it, and I don't even think it's a great game to recommend to people now.
How dare you? I'm going to revisit it next month, I think, because I was very much, I loved the game. I put 35 hours into it on launch, and then we got stuck just because the game was severely unbalanced.
Too hard,
unbalanced. But it has since been patched several times, so I'm very keen to.
Let's just play the Anacrusis together. It's fun.
How dare you, sir?
I actually know that like changing opinions on reviews is rare, but previews is quite common.
Oh yeah, that'll happen.
The big example is Evolve. And people were fucking hot on that game after previews. I love that game after previews, and boy, when you start playing that for more than 2 hours, coincidentally how long the preview lasted, you start seeing all the things break down. So yeah, that happens.
I think that is
frequently.
A textbook example of how a preview can be severely misleading.
Well, I mean, whenever I think of that, I think of the review event that you went to for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh yeah.
And how very
100%.
carefully structured it was to make sure you saw Act 1 and not Act 2. In order to review based on that,
I got to Act 2, but I didn't have enough time to, see it to those credits. And, right up to that point, it's like, yeah, this game's great. And then it fell apart at the end,
Yeah.
upon going home and actually finishing the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it was a real embarrassment, I think, for media at the time, because like, firstly, I can't I can't recall a review event similar to that since, because I think that caused such a scandal, because so many websites gave that game like glowing reviews. And if you talk to anyone now, it's a good game still, but a slight disappointment because of how it ends.
Yeah, the game itself is like proper.
Some top tier stealth action,
top 10 material there, but the way that story ends is just like, yeah, it's a complete
joke.
What can I say? And then second part of this second question from Jared says, I've recently bought a mechanical keyboard. Have I already fallen down the rabbit hole? Question mark.
It's the start.
Cry laugh emoji.
It's the start, man. Once you get a mechanical keyboard, then you realize you can never go back to membrane. And then after a few years,
back to membrane.
After a few years, you realize, hey, there are tiers of mechanical keyboard. Now looking at my custom ones, I can never go back to retail ones because they are just so inferior to
that is. See, but that's one step too far for me. Like I'm happy just knowing that my mechanical keyboard is fine. I know there's better ones out there, but the amount of effort needed to research and like choose my own, I don't want that. I'm happy to just buy an out the box solution.
I can't now. I just hear the rattle on stabilizers, and I don't feel the nice smoothness on the keys. I've ruined myself. I'm now resigned to a future where I spend more on my switches than I used to on entire keyboards. So
my goodness.
Yep, that's the future I've built for myself. Yeah. Send help, please.
Okay. We have 4 questions from your favorite listener, Chilo ZA. Here he is.
Damn, I thought 2021 would have taken him.
Well, get ready for 2022 because his first question is Sandy's New Year resolution to be able to beat me in a game this year?
Wow. Wow. This is rough words coming from the man who refuses to play Celeste,
A man who should talk Celeste.
I should play that platformer racing game and just show him up there.
Oh my God. That's one thing I never spoke about. Speedrunners. We have to play that. It is.
Yes.
It is good
racing
fun.
Platformer game. I'm down.
Question 2. If 2 vegans argue, is it still considered beef? Question mark.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's called Beyond Beef.
Wow. They're about to have Beyond Beef.
Yeah, it's Beyond Beef. It's beyond belief.
Amazing.
Even.
Wow.
My God.
Question 3. Orange. What came first, the color or the fruit? See, this is stuff that'll keep people up at night. Which one came first?
Well,
the color?
Surely one's based off of the other. So like the fruit was called one thing and they were like, well, this color now is always this thing, or they had the color and they're like, wow, this fruit is I would assume the fruit. Because
the fruit came first?
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're like, wow, this is such a vibrant color, we're gonna call it this. And now I don't know, probably.
You don't think the first human woke up one day, had a day, saw the sunset, thought that's a nice color, orange, and then walked down the valley. Is like, look at this. Whoa, this fruit's the exact same color as the sky.
I'm gonna call this fruit sky.
There's an alternate dimension where orange is called sky or sunset, one of the two.
Yeah.
Could I have some sunset juice, please? Thank you.
That actually sounds like a good time. I'm pretty sure there was like a Capri Sun flavor.
Listen, Monster, hire me. Call your next flavor sunset. Got it.
Let me see. Capri Sun sunset. Let's see if that's an actual flavor.
Actual flavor.
Oh God. Okay. Apparently Capri Sun is an actual term for these sunsets. So that search didn't help me at all.
My goodness.
But do you remember Capri Sun? Man, those juices.
No, yeah, I do.
So good. So good.
A good time. They had the best flavor names.
I can't believe they still sell them.
I think it was like rollerblade something.
Yes,
what is that?
the rollerblade. Oh, I need to check. Capri Sun.
Rollerblade raspberry.
Rollerblade.
What is it called?
Oh my God. Okay. These searches are so fucking pointless. I can't, like, I just searched Capri Sun rollerblade and I just got some nonsense back at me. It's just
My goodness.
does not know what to give me here. I found some, it says Pacific Cooler.
What does that even mean?
This one sounds like a toilet cleaner. Citrus Rush, not Flush. Sorry, my bad. Got fruit punch flavors here. But I remember the one that the image was like a rollerblade. I distinctly remember that. Yeah.
And you just called it rollerblade rush.
Rollerblade.
Your friends are
Capri
like, what does
Sun.
that even mean? You're like, I didn't make the name. Okay.
Oh
we
my
have
God.
one final question from Chilla who asks, does Sandy enjoy the masterpiece called Anaconda?
God. Every time it's on E, I watch it. No, I'm joking. I watched that as a kid. I enjoyed that as a kid.
Yeah, but
it's
who
like
didn't?
Big Snake
Because it was
movie.
always on ETV. Well, did you see the tweet that went out earlier this week? So
yes,
for those of you who don't know, Anaconda was shown on ETV last Saturday.
Again.
Again. And if you're South African, you know the meme is that every damn Friday or Saturday they're showing Anaconda, like at least once a week or whatever it was. They showed it very often. But they showed it last Saturday for the first time in, I imagine, a long time, and it drew 2.4 million viewers.
It's crazy.
ETV,
it's crazy.
Which is insane. But my favorite revelation from this whole, resurfacing of Anaconda is that I stumbled onto a YouTube video that ETV themselves put out in 2011 or 2012. And it's the ETV dude who's got that voice. He's like, tonight on E. But the video starts, he says, you've seen it once. You've seen it twice. You've seen it 18 times. This Saturday, Anaconda returns. You're like, they are
so fucking aware.
Yeah, they're like so soft. It's amazing. But just like, you've seen it once, you've seen it twice, you've seen it 18 times.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Anaconda drew some big numbers for ETV.
And the CG on that must be so bad.
So bad, but. So the question remains, did you enjoy the masterpiece called Anaconda?
I did. I still enjoy the masterpiece.
I mean, I enjoyed watching it as a kid. I should watch it again as an adult now.
With J-Lo and Ice Cube
this
in
will,
it. Yeah,
this will lean into Jared's question of like, have you enjoyed something and then like changed your mind? And I'm pretty
Lord,
sure
yeah, that will,
we'll watch Anaconda
very
like,
much change. Yeah.
This is a bad movie.
My goodness.
Yeah. So that's all we have on Instagram.
I love it was a TikTok that someone posted in response to that tweet, which was fun. It's like, give them Anaconda.
Well, that's what Chill and I have been talking about the whole week, where it's some dudes like talking to an exec and saying, what should we show this Saturday?
Yeah.
He's like, give them Anaconda. I was like,
that's
so please, we've shown it so many times.
It's
oh
so
my
funny.
God. Okay, we have one
Top
final
tier
question.
South African comedy.
We have a question on Facebook from Franco's himself, a representative of Franco's Pizza. Good pizza, can I just tell you?
Can they sponsor us?
Franco asks, how long until Microsoft buys Sony? I mean, if you were to slap we don't have the actual numbers, but if you were to slap a value onto Sony, like Activision Blizzard costs $70 billion. How much would Sony cost? I mean, I imagine that'd be...
It's also like Sony is not just games, and I highly doubt
it's like
you can
TVs
just buy
and
their
a whole...
games thing. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Like we said, their revenue annually on games is higher than Microsoft. So,
but assume you Phil Spencer, you call up Sony and say, listen, I want to buy you. Give me a price. What price do you think they would offer? Like,
good Lord.
Thumbsuck. Is it like $1 trillion? Is it half a trillion?
That would probably, I would say probably like in your 200,000-300,000 billions round about there. Because you're buying the electronics
no ways, more,
firm and whatever.
Way more than that, I'd say.
I don't know.
I'd say half a trillion.
I mean, they also do movies. They've got Sony Pictures, So I don't know if they're trillion, because there's very few $1 trillion companies, and I don't think Sony is one of them.
I think so. Okay, half a trillion.
Yeah, maybe, 500 billion. Yeah, I could see that. I could see around there. Because Microsoft's $1 trillion company. Apple's one of them.
Oh.
Coca-Cola's one of them. I think Apple actually was the first $3 trillion company the other day, which is just an obscene amount of money. Like you can spend, I think I did the math, it's like $1 million a minute or some shit, and you'll run out of money in like 1,000 years or some dumb.
my God.
It's stupid. It's like
Amazing.
the scale at which numbers grow like that. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it happens. And if ever that sort of came up, that would be an antitrust thing.
Yeah.
That is something that would be scrutinized to hell and back by regulators. So yeah.
Yeah. And that's all the questions this week.
Thank you so much for sending us questions. We didn't stick to our hour and a half target.
Matthew. We made it in under 2 hours, which to me is always a win. So an hour 45 is cool.
It's true.
It's not bad for a comeback episode. So
no, not at all. And it is good to be back.
It's good to be back.
If you're joining us on this adventure in 2022, thank you. We look forward to your patronage this year. And we're just going to keep doing our thing. We love doing this podcast. It's fun.
Prove your patronage by subscribing on Patreon.
We gotta drum up a Patreon for
if
this.
You our top tier list, Sandy will send you a nude calendar for $1,000 a month.
I just cover my good bits with the 3DS or a copy of Majora's Mask.
I don't know if that's an insult to you or
it's definitely an insult to me because those boxes are tiny.
So well, if that's the case, I'm covering myself up with the PlayStation 5.
Are you compensating for something?
No.
Clearly.
And that's on that bombshell.
on that bombshell. Thank you
here.
so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Subscribe on YouTube if you like. Subscribe on all the places, wherever you want to listen. Have a good week. Cool. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.